Thomas E. James, and I left the service as a damage controlman, 3rd class. Even though they were hard on us, you learned to stand up straight, say yes sir, no sir. And I guess you would say they made a man out of you. You went home with a completely different attitude. You maintained that. Being neat, taking care of it. We had to iron our clothes with the manual that they gave us. Everything had to be folded properly. They all had to be stored properly in the locker. Socks here, undershirts here, etc. They always inspected you continuously. You had to make your bed up so that the sheet was as tight as a drum. They'd come along and bounce a quarter off of the sheet. And if it didn't bounce, then you'd have to they'd tear everything off and start all over again. And we had a ditty bag at the end of the bunk is where we put our dirty clothes. Everything had to be in its place and be done properly. And they squared you away, as they called it. It wasn't really, it was good training. I try to pass that on to my grandchildren. I know a lot of guys couldn't wait to get out of the service and going back to be slobs again or whatever, and oh, that's no good, to be like that. It was good to retain some of that training and discipline. I had no specific, I had to make sure that the watertight doors were closed in our area, and I think we mustered down below decks in the shipfitter shop. That was a heavy metal shop. They had brakes and drop shears for cutting heavier, 1/2-inch metal, and we would muster down there. I didn't have anything on deck duties, no gunnery duty. I told one of the guys where we always had to stay inside, so to speak, during gunnery practice, but one time something happened to the air handling system, and they let us go out on deck. And it was something to see those guns go off, the huge fireball out of the gun, all the unburned powder flying all over the place. The decks were always covered with all that black soot from firing the 5-inch .38s. We would shoot at targets that were being drug along behind planes, and we shot at targets that ships would drag along. I don't think we had any major mishaps, but I think we cut a tow rope one time accidentally. I wasn't involved in any of that, but I got to see it. The whole ship would slide sideways when they did a broadside. It was hard to believe that those guns were that powerful that the whole ship would shift sideways when we fired a broadside. I can't imagine what those 16-inch guns must have been like.